the last couple of years during the COVID pandemic, we have had some ups and downs with regard to that. But all in all, we've actually had a quite robust sales situation in the Chinese market. Bar the lockdown that we saw in Shanghai in the second quarter, we have rebounded quite well. So we will see how things develop. But at the moment, it seems like our operations are quite stable.
Final question on me from this. I guess one of the lessons from the war in Ukraine and having the German economy reliant on another country is now that the German government is said to be looking at cutting its reliance on the Chinese economy and potentially looking at industries and how they invest in China and try to kind of veto the investments of German companies in China. So how are you looking at this kind of change of philosophy from the German government when it comes to China?
China is our biggest and most important market, and in fact it's been the biggest source of growth over the last 10 years. And if we look into the future, it will continue to be a source of growth. At the same time, in this day and age, to create optionality and also make sure that you capture all the other growth opportunities around the world in the other big economic regions, United States, North America, Europe, but also maybe some of the emerging markets in Asia with India eventually coming, Indonesia, Vietnam and so on. You have to diversify and make sure that you have many legs on your stool. But China will remain a focus for us. In terms of raw materials resilience, we're also looking at more of a region-for-region approach where we step-by-step look at shoring up our supply chains for the different materials that we need.
Very final question, your outlook for the general economy, talks of recession in the US, of course in Europe as we've been discussing. So how confident are you or how worried are you about the clouds on the horizon?
Well, with inflation and the subsequent interest rate hikes, it is to be expected that we will have some kind of cool down. The size of that, I think it's a bit too early to tell. We have a very, very flexible production network. So should the market swing down again next year, then we would then adjust production accordingly.